So they have been prescribed as a terrorist organisation under the UK's Terrorism Act 2000, which creates a number of different offences, including a criminal offence to support the organisation, to be a member of the organisation, to express views supportive of the organisation, being reckless as to whether that will encourage support of the organisation, and also to provide financial support to it or to enable it to retain property and so on. Now, quite apart from that, I should say that prescription has been legally challenged, and a judge has said that the challenge is not so hopeless that it should be immediately dismissed. The judge has said that that should be given a full consideration by the court, and that will be coming up. And since it is sub judice, as we say, it is perfectly possible that decision to prescribe the organisation could be revoked. I hope it won't be revoked because I think it is fully justified, but we can't overlook that possibility. But over and above the prescription, Palestine Action has those who form it, the members in inverted commas. I don't think it is a legal entity in itself. It's not a company, but is an unincorporated association, and its members have the ordinary responsibility of citizens under the law, which include not causing criminal damage, not entering into spaces, property of other people with the intent of disrupting lawful activities. That's aggravated trespass, and they have been committing, as it seems to me at any rate, and indeed there have been a number of convictions, they have been committing criminal offences of causing criminal damage and of also being trespassers, disrupting lawful activities on premises. And the people who commit those offences are liable, and people who assist the commission of those offences, expecting them to occur, they're also liable. So people who are providing money to assist Palestine Action to carry out those criminal offences, I think are also committing their own criminal offences. And I should make clear there's a real difference between protesting, in this case, people objecting to Israeli military operations or the way they're conducted, or it could be something else entirely. But people are perfectly entitled to protest, but they're not entitled to commit criminal damage in protesting, and they're not entitled to disrupt activities of other people by trespassing on premises and using their activities on premises to disrupt those activities. There is a real difference between expressing views peacefully to people without committing criminal offences and actually doing these acts which are criminal offences. And the law ought to be upheld. Unfortunately, the system is not as efficient as it should be, and there's a big backlog, and this doesn't help matters. But even if the prescription is overturned, the general criminal law will still continue to apply. So Sally Rooney has said that she will transfer some of her royalties, or royalties in relation to particular works, to Palestine Action. And this, I think, is likely to constitute a criminal offence because, first of all, if the prescription stands, then it is a criminal offence to transfer money to a prescribed terrorist organisation. That's a separate offence in its own right. But even if the prescription is not upheld, the Palestine Action are clearly carrying out criminal offences of criminal damage and of aggravated trespass. That's say trespassing on property and carrying out actions that interfere with lawful activities on the property. Those are general offences which are being committed by Palestine Action, and by providing financial support to Palestine Action, I think she makes herself an accomplice to those criminal offences. And I think it even makes organisations that pay her royalties also become accomplices, because they must know from the publicity that's been given to promise to transfer royalties to Palestine Action. They must know about it, and they must therefore be aware that the money that they provide to Sally Rooney for these works is going to be used to assist Palestine Action to carry out criminal offences, and assisting criminal offences, believing they're likely to occur. That is in itself a criminal offence of being accessory to the substantive criminal offence. The publication is not itself a criminal offence, but the transfer of royalties to Sally Rooney or her agents, I think, would be a criminal offence. And therefore, I think if the BBC does that, then I think it's exposed to criminal liability. The police have said that they're investigating this matter. So I don't think it should be dismissed as idle speculation. Now, if the BBC decide to show it but not to pay royalties until the legal position is, let's say, clarified, then I don't know whether they might get into issues of difficulty on copyright. I think the BBC might be able to say in relation to that, well, she's given us a license to show the work on our media, and she's not in any way told us not to continue showing it, and therefore the BBC could say that they can do that. But I think they must stop transferring the royalties whilst the situation remains unresolved. And I think in order to avoid a criminal offence, I think, or the risk of liability of a criminal offence, I think the BBC must stop transferring royalties altogether, unless and until Sally Rooney accepts that she isn't going to transfer them to Palestine Action or any other organisation committing terrorist offences, or accepts that she can't do so because they've been closed down.